Today on Public Eye News, Detroit will vote on the decriminalization of psychedelics, and a sandhill crane hunt is proposed for Michigan.
Later, Brady Hinshaw will have your weather, and Michael Cudahy will have your sports update. Hello, my name is Brendan Ford.
And I'm Justin Van Hoff, and this is Public Eye News. Proposition E on next Tuesday's ballot will ask voters if they support the decriminalization and therapeutic use of ethnogenic plants. Those include peyote, mescaline, and psilocybin mushrooms, sometimes called magic shrooms. Decriminalization does not mean that they would be legal. Instead, Detroit police would not make those drugs a high priority for arrest and prosecution. Several cities across the nation are looking at decriminalizing psychedelic drugs as well. And prosecutors will not charge a Detroit area lawmaker after an investigation into the allegations from a fellow lawmaker who said he sent her threatening text messages following their breakup. The head of Ingham County's Sexual Assault/Domestic Violence Unit reviewed an investigative report into Harrison Township Republican Representative Steve Marino, submitted by Michigan State Police to Prosecutor Carol Siemens' office in late September. The official denied prosecution, said Scott Hughes, a spokesperson for Siemens' office. Michigan State Police began investigating allegations earlier this month against Marino after Birmingham Representative Marie Monaghan told House leadership that the 31-year-old Republican had sent her threatening texts. Marino was removed from his committee assignments, and the incident was reported to state police. Monaghan, 29, obtained a personal protection order against Marino shortly after reporting the incident to state police. Marino has not been on the House floor since and now needs an escort if he wishes to enter the House floor or House office buildings. And last week, we did a story about a proposed sandhill crane hunt in Wisconsin. And now, the Michigan Senate encouraged the State Natural Resource Commission to approve a sandhill crane hunt in Michigan. Eastern sandhill cranes were nearly wiped out 100 years ago. There are a lot more today. In fact, the population is estimated to be around 94,000. The Michigan United Conservation Clubs would like to see this number managed because farmers complain about the damage they do to their crops. In the spring, the migratory birds eat the planted seeds or young plants from corn and wheat fields. However, it is long and involves a process to establish a hunting season for a protected species such as the sandhill crane. And also, the hunt would not allow the consumption of the bird.
A brother and sister were pronounced dead after a plane crash in Marengo, Wisconsin. Aaron and Aaliyah Micah were flying a single-engine plane on Saturday when they crashed into the house of the Yalancado residents. The crash destroyed the porch, but no serious damage was done to the rest of the house. The residents of the home knew the siblings, stating they had been to their graduation parties. The Ashland County Sheriff's Office is investigating the crash, alongside the National Transportation Safety Board and Federal Aviation Administration. Moving on to some more Wisconsin news, a judge has decided what evidence will and will not be allowed during Kyle Rittenhouse's trial on November 1st. Kyle Rittenhouse shot 3 protesters in Kenosha last year during a protest against police brutality. He is being charged with homicide and other crimes directed toward Joseph Rosenbaum, Anthony Huber, and Gage Grosskreutz. Rittenhouse's attorney states that he wants a use of force expert to testify that the actions were in self-defense, while prosecutors state that an expert isn't needed to decipher what happened on the night of the occurrence. The judge denied the request from his attorney, stating that an expert cannot explain Rittenhouse's thoughts and reason for pulling the trigger. Judge Schroeder did, however, allow a video of police showing gratitude towards Rittenhouse as well as other armed militia members for their assistance prior to the shootings. And after this break, we will be back with your national and international news. Stay tuned.
It's a new dawn. It's a new day.
Everybody loves a comeback story. And PBS is here to tell it. The show will go on. PBS for the arts.
Welcome back. Shoppers were confused when a typical trip to the store turned into chaos after they heard several large bangs after an active shooter opened fire at the largest shopping mall in Boise, Idaho. Two people were killed and 4 people were injured, including an officer at the Boise Town Square shopping mall, authorities said. The officer was injured in an exchange of gunfire with the suspect, who was detained and hospitalized in critical condition, police said. And YouTube, TikTok, and Snapchat are offering only tweaks and minor changes in their operations to ensure young users' safety amid rising concerns over the platform's potential harm to children, the head of the Senate panel told the company's executives Tuesday. The panel took testimony recently from a former Facebook data scientist who laid out internal company research showing that the company's Instagram photo sharing service appears to seriously harm some teens. The subcommittee is widening its focus to examine other tech platforms with millions or billions of users that also compete for the young people's attention and loyalty. And the first nor'easter of the season has begun soaking the region, bringing with it heavy rain and wind. Forecasts call it another bomb cyclone, and it's happening right after the first one blasted the West Coast, leaving a massive cleanup. Elise Preston reports from Hoboken, New Jersey.
A tree toppled onto a car in Queens, New York, Tuesday as the region faced what forecasters are calling a bomb cyclone.
The whole trunk is out, the windshield is gone. That looks bad.
The rain began late Monday night in New Jersey, where many people are still trying to recover from flooding remnants of Hurricane Ida brought in early September.
I'm a little worried because I got flooded in a couple of my properties, and if we lose it again, I'm going bankrupt.
A flash flood watch is in effect for more than 31 million people across the Northeast. Between 3 to 6 inches of rain is expected before it's all over, plus heavy winds that could cause power outages.
This is about as extreme a pattern as it gets.
I'm walking alongside a washed out street in Hoboken, New Jersey, but very carefully, just a few feet away, I can't even see how far down the water goes, and there's a stalled out car in the middle of the roadway. In the state of New Jersey, there are a few thousand people without power, and the governor says that number is almost certainly going to go up as the storm continues throughout the day.
It's a long storm, and with significant parameters in terms of rain, potential flooding, high winds.
The severe weather in the Northeast comes as the Midwest cleans up from more than a dozen tornadoes that slammed Missouri and Illinois on Sunday.
It's just a total massive destruction.
And the West Coast is also trying to recover from its own bomb cyclone that dumped record-setting rainfall over the weekend. That system could make its way to the Northeast by Friday. Elise Preston, CBS News, Hoboken, New Jersey.
Sudan's Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok was deposed in a coup by the ruling general. The ruling general states that this was for his safety and that he will be released soon, while other members of the government may face trial due to protests against the putsch. After Sudan's transition to democracy, tensions between military and civilian leaders have led to violence among the two groups. General Abdel Fattah Burhan states that the military was forced to step in due to the fear of a possible civil war. During protests in Khartoum, 80 were injured, with at least 4 people killed after security forces used live ammunition on protesters. Several groups in Sudan are urging residents to go on strike and participate in these protests. General Burhan claims that the internet and communication services will gradually be restored as they were severely disrupted during the coup. Burhan will be the head of the military council until elections in July 2023. And Japan's Princess Mako has tied the knot with a commoner and will be leaving royalty due to issues with gender equality and human rights. The controversy of how the Japanese royals are expected to behave has already delayed her marriage for 3 years and caused them to skip a formal ceremony and instead register their union at a local government office. Princess Mako declines the $1.3 million payment offered to women required to leave royalty for marrying a commoner by law in order to alleviate any concerns of taxpayer money usage. Japan's royal family is now down to 17 members, with only 3 heirs to the throne. And an independent FDA advisory committee is expected to vote today on whether to authorize the use of the Pfizer COVID vaccine for children ages 5 to 11. Deborah Alfarone is at the White House with more details.
The FDA could vote to authorize the use of the Pfizer COVID vaccine for kids ages 5 to 11.
The vaccine meets all safety data expectations and meets immunobridging criteria, and that 90.7% efficacy was observed.
About 28 million children could be eligible for the 2-shot lower dose vaccine. The CDC still has to vote on it as well, and final approval could come as early as next week. FDA officials say the need for vaccinations for children is clear, as about 9% of all COVID cases involve kids in the 5 to 11 age group.
And there have also been close to 100 deaths, making it one of the top 10 causes of death in this age range during this time.
And the CDC says COVID infections are impacting learning as well.
In this school year to date, more than 2,000 schools had unplanned closures, impacting more than 1 million students.
The White House says it has secured enough Pfizer doses to vaccinate every eligible child, and those doses will be going to pharmacies and pediatricians' offices as soon as the FDA votes.
And these vaccine doses will be shipped with all the supplies needed to vaccinate kids, including smaller needles.
Moderna says it will soon ask for approval for its low-dose vaccine for kids. Moderna says its vaccine is safe and effective for kids 6 to 11. The study of more than 4,700 kids shows the vaccine creates a strong immune response. The majority of adverse effects were mild to moderate, like fatigue, headache, and fever. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, the White House.
And stay tuned, because after this break, Brady Hinshaw will be coming at you with your weather, and Michael Cudahy will have your sports update.
But that's just me, I'm gonna live out in defiance.
And welcome back. I'm your wonderful weatherman, Brady Hinshaw. Behind me on this NMU campus, it's some gray skies. Hopefully that'll clear up as we go through our day. But looking at our current conditions, it is cloudy with a temperature of 44 degrees, winds out the northeast at 10 miles an hour, and barometric pressure of 30.15 and falling. Looking towards tonight, it's mostly clear skies with a low of 34, winds out of the east, southeast at 8 miles an hour. Looking towards tomorrow, it's partly sunny skies with a high of 53, winds out of the south, southeast at 10 miles an hour. Now, if we look over at the UP, it's a mixed bag of things with 51 in Sault Ste. Marie, 50 in both Manistee and Escanaba. Looking at our western half, we have 50 as well in Menominee, 48 in Iron Mountain, 47 in Ironwood and Houghton, and back in beautiful Marquette, it is 44. Looking at our week ahead, we have Thursday a high of 55 and a low of 47 with cloudy skies. Friday a high of 53 and a low of 45 with also cloudy skies. Saturday a high of 56 and a low of 42 and partly sunny skies. Now on to Michael with those sports.
Hi there. Austin Matthews, the first overall pick from 2019, is the newest member of the 200 Goal Club. Matthews scores his 200th career goal last night against the Carolina Hurricanes. The American is the fastest to 200, scoring it in 338 games, since Alex Ovechkin did it in 296. Matthews entered the league and started scoring immediately, scoring 40 goals in his rookie year. Matthews is expected to compete for the Rocket Richard Trophy this year, given out to the leading goal scorer in the NHL every year. And the American Grand Prix was this past weekend. Max Verstappen won his first American Grand Prix and has now been the race leader in 500 laps this season. By winning, Verstappen was able to grow his Drivers' Championship lead to 12 points, but it was almost 13 except for Lewis Hamilton, who came in second, got the point for the fastest lap of the race. Red Bull's second driver, Sergio Perez, came in third to complete the podium. This was huge for Red Bull as they closed the gap in Mercedes' lead in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes' lead is now just 23 points. Perez had an amazing drive on Sunday as his water system broke early in the race and he was unable to drink water for the entire time. And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for tuning in.
My name is Brendan Ford.
And I'm Michael Cudahy.
And we'll see you tomorrow at Public Eye News.
Studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.